in the bottom right now, in the red. We talked about him. He had an incredible run through the round of 36 to get here. It's Spirit.
And his opponent spawning up at the top left with the read of all reads. For Katowice Gaming, it is Reynor. Well, this may end up being a bit of a moot point. What I was talking about, because right now we've got a proxy 2 racks, and Reynor has not just gone for a 16 pool. This is a 14 pool, as far as I believe this is a 14 pool. This is such a ridiculously good counter. Spirit is a player that does like to do stuff like this. He likes to go for proxy 2 racks. It's a pretty common play for him, and I wouldn't be too surprised. By the way,
Gasless?
the camera is not straight. I am going to follow one of the players for a moment, and then we are going to follow this. Hang on. Regardless, let's not get distracted here. Oh my God, he scouts the barracks too with the lings. This is a straight up disaster right here for Spirit. This is so good for Reynor right now. Now, very nice positioning on the barracks means that Marine, it's able to spawn on the inside here. I don't think there's room for another Marine there. This is kind of weird though.
Where's the...
In a weird way, this might even be better for Spirit.
And look at what Spirit's... So normally off of 2 racks like this, you're going to start gas fairly soon afterwards. You know, you want that factory. Spirit is still gasless. He's just pumping, pumping Marines, pumping SCVs off of 1 base. Like, where is the transition here? A Marine is going to be able to wedge his way out a little bit. Spirit returns home with some. He's going to greed out. He's going to get that second command center very quickly, but Spirit's going to have, like, no transition into this game. Again, you can't get a factory. Like, this is weird.
Yeah, this is very strange. This is an extremely strange game right now. Okay, I have fixed the camera.
There we go. That's weird. Look at this. It's a 3cc play. Okay.
Oh my God, and low ground, no gas. Wow. Wow. This is... Oh my God, and he's moving out with the Marines. This is his only Marines. Spirit, what are we doing?
I mean, he's going to kill a lot. It's still 4 lanes.
No, but he's got no defense for the command center. There's literally no Marines.
I know,
the only thing, this is a bluff. If Reynor realizes that there's no gas, I mean, first of all, he could drop a Roach Warren. He could even just build 20 slow lings and deny this command center. This is so bad. Actually, this might just deny the command center anyways. Oh, it's going to be kind of close.
Okay, so SCV is going to add a little bit more health to it. A couple more Marines will arrive, and 2 Marines should fight 4 lings off here, or at least get enough of... Yeah, they're going to get him, or at least get enough of them down, and there we go. So Reynor gets dealt with, and now Raynor's going to think, okay, look at what I forced out here. I forced a delay on what he thinks is your natural. I forced your barracks to go land again, rally across, but there are 2 orbitals already done. That is Spirit's 3rd base. And Raynor's just building speedlings. He's taking his 3rd base. It seems like Reynor maybe has kind of the read that this is not what it is. Like, this is a normal 2 racks, but Spirit, by cutting gas like this, I don't think he gets this queen, as it seems like the queen is just reacting a little bit too quickly. But these Marines, they're forcing out a lot of lings. They're forcing more pressure out of Reynor. And yeah, he's got 37 drones. His economy is going very well. But Spirit is kind of doing a couple really cool things that start to mitigate the economic disadvantage he's put himself in.
Well, I mean, at this point, it's actually not even an economic disadvantage. With 3 CCs, he's ahead in economy right now. The thing that I'm concerned about is that he's going to potentially lose every single Marine on the map. He will fight just before ling speed completes, which is good news for Spirit. But now ling speed completes. And I think, does Reynor have more lings coming?
Yes.
Yeah, he can actually fight this. He can fight this. Okay, he's going to choose not to. And you know what? I actually don't hate it at all, because now he gets to get in on an undefended natural. Oh, and he finds a fresh mule. That's actually a pretty big deal right here. Reynor already doing such amazing work with this ling control. God, he's doing so much.
Yeah, the big deal there. We see how Reynor is reacting to this. He finally got an overlord on the main base. All these Marines are on the map. They can't deny scouting, which means Reynor, yes, he bought the farm. He thought he knew exactly what Spirit was doing, and it wasn't what Spirit was doing. But that overlord on the main, now he knows exactly, it's a 3cc. Like, he sees how greedy Spirit is. There's no wall on the natural. Marines run into the main base to knock the overlord down, and again, the SCVs have to run away. More mining denied, more SCVs going down. Spirit, he's not going to lose the supply depot, but he's not close to being supply blocked. And when behind, well, he's not Protoss. You can't go Dark Shrine. When behind battle cruisers, this game,
Two-port BC?
Two-port BC. Yeah, you're right. This game gets weirder and weirder.
This is by far the weirdest game we've seen at IEM Katowice to date. That might be completely wrong. There's been so many games that I haven't seen all of them, but I'm just going to say it because hyperbole is fine. This is such a weird game. First of all, 14 pool versus Proxy 2 racks is already weird. And then you have the fact that Spirit re-landed the barracks and kept pumping Marines as though he was being aggressive while taking an in-base natural before the base on the low ground. Just everything about this is bizarre. It is utterly bizarre. Spirit, by the way, he is going to go into bio behind this, but Reynor might not be prepared for these BCs. Like, this is... He's got no idea at the moment. He doesn't have any spore crawlers. He's getting a very quick infestation pit, bane speed, 1-1 upgrades. But we also have to talk about the fact that this creep is already getting ridiculous. It's 7 minutes, and he has crossed the midpoint of the map.
And he's just taking the map. He has 2 additional bases on the way. You talk about that infestation pit. He's playing like some of the Korean Zergs have been playing on the new patch. Get to Hive as quick as possible. Adrenal glands is so powerful. His Lings find their way into the 3rd base, but actually that's a fairly nice wall coming in from Spirit. Supply depot may go down, but the Marines, well, they won't, so that will force Reynor back for the moment. But again, Steadfast, you just get to Hive as quick as possible. Adrenal is effectively +3 on your Lings. Reynor here is going to be on 5 hatch. We might even see him just get a 6th macro hatch just because. But here we go. Battlecruisers teleporting the main base. There are already 2 sports here, but that is just about the extent of the anti-air. Queen's going to try to run away. But we're only on 8 queens. It's not even the 9 queen Reynor of old. So these battlecruisers are getting so much done. The natural is just absolutely forfeit. There's a spore on the way, but who cares? It's going to take a while to get made. So 13, 14, 15 workers are going down. Queens are going to try to find something, but it's 2 battlecruisers. You need more than the queens that Reynor does have. So into the main base, Spirit's going to go once again. But it doesn't matter necessarily because on the other side, Ling's now flooding into the natural, and as much damage as Spirit is getting done, well, so too is he going to take it. So the 3rd base is forfeit. Natural has no mining in it whatsoever. But that bunker from Spirit is actually fantastic. So it really is only one position that Reynor can target, but he's going to get on top of the upgrades here. And 1-1 looks like it's going to be denied. So this bio transition that Spirit was looking for out of the BC play, well, it's not going to happen. 0-0 bio. Stim is going to get done. But these are 1-1 Lings. They're going to have Adrenal soon. A Baneling busting the natural here coming in from Reynor. And the battlecruisers, they're not teleporting home. The Banelings that they run into the 3rd base. Look at, oh no, the SCVs, they're going to eat so much. And yeah, the rest of the mineral line going down here as well. This bunker's trying to do what it can Steadfast. But as cool as that 2-port BC was, it feels like Spirit was just a little bit too far behind.
I actually disagree. I think he was totally prepared to deal with this. He just didn't lift the depot. He didn't lift the depot at the natural. That completely ruined everything for him. He did have that bunker at the 3rd, but you see a counter draft coming on in from Spirit. But I mean, the medevac goes down. He's going to lose all these Marines. And this game, for all intents and purposes, I mean, you can look at the supply. It's more than 50 workers. It's a 50-worker lead right now for Reynor. The only thing that Spirit has going for him at the moment is the fact that these BCs are not yet countered. And he knows that Reynor's no fool. He's going to get the Spire. He's going to get what he needs to deal with that. Reynor takes a convincing game 1. But if he just raised that depot, if Spirit raised that depot, I think this game is great for Spirit.
Maybe. It's so hard. It's so far away, like, from our understanding of what StarCraft is, that you're just like, yeah, probably battlecruisers, they weren't really handled. The Ling run by, again, you're right, though. Did get too much damage. I don't think we see another game like that, though. I don't think it's possible to see another game like that. Regardless of what the map is, Dragon Scales is, again, probably maybe a bit better of a Terran map. But, okay, was that a prepared build? Was proxy, was the proxy 2 racks into gasless 3cc into 2-port battle. Was that Spirit's plan? Was that him adapting on the fly?
I have no idea. I would have to ask the players. That is such a specific thing. It felt, especially when he re-landed the barracks and started building Marines again, it felt like that was him flying by the seat of his pants a little bit. I do like the idea of the 2-port BC, and it got huge damage done. Like, if I really think that if the depot was raised for Spirit, because he had a 4th CC, he's in an amazing position, actually. The bunker locks down the 3rd, especially with the great SimCity there. There's no banelings for a while. There's a siege tank on the high ground at the natural. I really think if that depot's raised, despite the fact that Reynor was playing such an immaculate game up until those BCs, I really think Spirit probably was in a big lead.
Maybe, but certainly it only matters if you can hold on to it, and he was not able to do so. But folks, it's another map. It's another game. Spirit's down 1, but that was a fun game 1 to be sure. Let's see if we can match it. Game 2. In the upper left, folks, in the red. He's down a game, but as Steadfast was saying, he definitely had opportunities in that first map. He's Spirit.
And his opponent, spawning down in the bottom right for Kites Gaming, showing immaculate mechanics. It is the Blue Zerg player, Reynor. Yeah, I've really got to say that was... You and I both know that Reynor practices a lot and does these Archon modes against like 5, 6 other players at once. That showed through super hard in that game. The Ling multitasking, just initially, he was constantly controlling 2 groups of Lings while spreading creep everywhere, while like enveloping the map. And that answered the question in a big way of how Reynor's form looks. And it looks so strong. It is... I'm very excited. But let's talk about this game a little bit. We've got a CC first, and it's a 2 racks follow-up from Spirit. This looks like a CC first powered 2-on-1.
Ooh. I love what we see Spirit doing here, because despite the fact, by the way, that Spirit and Reynor are on the same team, they're both on Kites Gaming, Spirit is, to my knowledge, not one of Reynor's practice partners. Spirit is Cyril's Terran practice partner, as well as Oliveira. So despite the fact it would be easy to attribute game 1, to attribute all these mind games to it being a team kill and these players practicing against each other a whole lot, but I don't think that's what it is necessarily. I think this is Spirit who has prepared very hard for a Reynor that he may not be able to beat in a straight up standard game. I know Spirit beat Reynor in the late game. I know he looked very good in EPT Cups a couple weeks ago, but Steadfast, that Reynor was not the Reynor we have today. That was a Reynor who was getting ready, who was messing around on the patch, who was trying to figure out how things work, not the Reynor who is solidly as ready as he will ever be to make another run, at his 4th straight Katowice finals.
Yeah, that is a big
World
deal.
Championship finals, excuse me.
Yes. The other thing is it the same Spirit we saw? Because Spirit, to say he ate his Wheaties that morning really doesn't cover it. Like, he was beating... First of all, he won his first... well, not his first ESL Open Cup, I don't think. Oh, I don't remember now. It was, okay. But the bigger thing, he won it without dropping a map. He 3-0'd Hero Marine in a TBT, which is Hero Marine's bread and butter, on Hero Marine's Monday, his day of days. And he did it from a couple of positions of being horribly behind, and he willed his way back into those games. Like, it felt like we were watching we were watching just a poetry in motion with that. It was such an impressive showing from Spirit. And I wrote an article about it, and I was saying, like, if he plays this way, I would not be surprised to see a top 8 from him. And I'll die on that hill. If he plays the way he did there, we could see it. But is he going to play that way is the big question. And will Reynor even care? Will Reynor let him?
He did kind of play that way yesterday. I don't know how many of the games you saw once we were done, but that series versus Spirit versus Cure, and then versus Zound. I mean, the first couple games of the series versus Cure, he was playing at that level, and then, you know, as you often do, because these are long play-in days. You know, you play 4 or 5 series, you go down to lower qualifiers, you might play 2 best-of-5s. He said this in the interview, he just kind of bonked. You know, he hit that wall, and all of a sudden he's not thinking about the game as much. He's not able to focus as hard. He's autopiloting and hoping he wins. And we saw that. I mean, he was in a winning position in game 4 versus Cure. It didn't happen. By the way, this is a super quick 4th base coming out of Reynor.
Well, I was going to mention that it's not just a super quick 4th base. Look at the benchmarks that Reynor is hitting right now. Look at his worker count at the 5-minute mark. Look at what he's got already. He's got Layer nearly done. Baneling Nest is finishing up shortly. That 4th base is on the way. And he is normally, a lot of Zerg benchmarks revolve, it depends a little bit, but a lot of them revolve around 50 drones at the 5-minute mark. But he has got more than that, and he's got more things than that behind it, like more of the residuals behind this, like Bane speed. He's got his double Evo. He's just hitting some very sharp and clean timings, and he's doing it with pretty great creep spread already. Oh, and a little counterattack coming on in while these Marines have moved out. He's got the read on his opponent's build so strong.
Well, that being said, that run by does mean that he doesn't have quite as much at home, but with 4 Baneleys, it's really hard to take the engagement, even as Spirit may have that micro to target things down. So he doesn't even get an Overlord. Spirit has to go home. He's gonna lose some SCVs. And yes, the drop into that position, that choke is nice. But okay, Spirit re-engages, tries to get on top of the Queens, but the transfuses are gonna be there. And he knocks down a couple creep tumors. Is there another one on the high ground? No, there's not. So he does deny the creep onto the high ground, which is actually pretty significant if you want to push through that location. But Reynor was super greedy, right? Quick 4th base, massive drone count early, and he still gets damage done to Spirit, where Spirit went for the greediest possible version of a 2-1-1, which means it's hit as hard as possible early on, but a Queen will now go down, and that is something here. As Spirit again moves forward, denies the creep, starts to find his way into the mineral line. Baneling speed is done in 5 seconds. Target fire the Banelings on the right side, and that's gonna have to do it, because again, Reynor has lings everywhere. It's like the man has 4 hands, because yeah, Spirit's putting pressure on, Spirit's getting denied, and he's taking a bunch of damage on the other side. Reynor just looks ridiculous steadfast.
He is looking so fast right now. They gave him that high rating and speed, and it is really showing off. Nice target fire right there on one of the Banelings from Spirit. And he does have the smallest of army supply leads at the moment. But, I mean, everything feels like it's going in the favor of Reynor right now. He's picked off 13 workers. Widow Mines. Oh, nice split. Look at that. He's paying attention to everything. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we see the drop gets forced back. Banelings. Oh, well, they are going to get another 5 SCVs. Spirit with a last-second little split does kind of draw them away. But now look at these medevacs. They're going to be forced back. No chance to get into the main base. This is a Reynor who's playing this map so well. And part of the reason why this 3rd base is super wide open, I really like the mines for defense around it. A couple of Liberators were used for harass, but it looks like Reynor killed all of them, or well, both of them.
God, Steadfast, this is just horrifying. Not if you're a Reynor fan, of course, but I'm looking at how clean Reynor is. You know, he's got a bit of a bank right now. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit. And he finds himself supply blocked, so maybe the cleanliness is not quite as there right now. But this entire early game, he just hasn't missed a beat. He's looked so good. He's got a Spore already in location. Medevac won't go down. It gets very close, and now steamroll into the late game. Infestation bit halfway done. We're going to see a Hive after that one fairly quickly. I guess if we're going to talk about anything, this is a Ling Bane player that is only on 82 workers, that was supply blocked briefly in the mid game, but he's going to find his way into the natural now. Widowmine's not going to find much of anything, and yeah, do you have to spend perfectly if you're everywhere at once and able to get so much damage? Maybe not. Spirit trying to get something done on the right side. We'll get maybe a Queen or 2, but even still, I mean, this is pressure coming in from Spirit is fantastic. And the split from Widowmine though, target fire there from Spirit. He gets something, but everything's dead anyways. And Reynor is just looking like, he's looking like one of the best players in the world.